Hi guys, and welcome back to an actor's notebook. Please forgive me in advance if I have to take a sip of my tea in between talking. I'm not feeling very well, and it's just gonna help my throat a bit. So anyway, let's get started. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And don't forget to comment down below anything that you guys want to know from me, any helpful tips that you think that I can give to you. I'm actually gonna talk about something that someone commented a little while ago. It was a question about like how you transition out of college as an actor. Like you've gone to school for acting, or maybe you've just gone to college and now you wanted to pursue your career in acting. How do you do that transition? So I'm going to talk about that today. But yeah, give me some more great ideas. Just put it down in the comment section below and I'll tell you all about it. So here we go. I'm going to preface this video by saying that I just graduated college like 2.5 months ago, almost 3 months. So this is still a new area for me. I'm going to tell you guys about my experience because this is the actor notebook. These are the notes that I've learned throughout my career of being an actor and trying to, you know, be an actor full time for every part of my life and making that my full-time career. So these are just my helpful tips and my notes, and I hope that they help someone else. So let's get started. So there's so many things you can do after you graduate, like after you get your bachelor's in whatever field you have, whether it be theater, acting, or psychology, doesn't matter. And you want to pursue a career in acting, no matter what, after you get your bachelor's, there's many avenues for you to become, like for your next step of becoming an actor. So I'm going to tell you some of those avenues. One, you can get your master's, which I did a whole video about, kind of like those audition processes and getting your master's and finding the right fit for you. You guys can go and watch that video. I'll do a link in the section below, in the information section below, so that you guys can click on that and get more information on that if you're interested. Another thing that you can do is that, and I think I might have said this before, I'm not quite sure, but another thing you can do is join an apprenticeship. So you can be an acting apprentice with, I mean, there's so many companies that do it. There's a company in St. Louis that does it. There's a company in Milwaukee Rep does one. There's so many apprenticeships programs, New Stage Theater, like there's just so many. Google them, look them up, see which one appeals to you. I will say that I did apply for some of those positions and I actually got very far in St. Louis. They had like 1,500 people apply. Like there's a lot of people. It's very competitive. Same with the masters, the MFA. This is very competitive. I mean, we're in a competitive business. So it was like 1,500 people. I got down to like 50. So I was pretty, actually, I was kind of surprised when I didn't get it. I don't know why, but I was just kind of surprised when I didn't get it. But when I saw the people who they'd chosen, I understood like some of them were on Broadway and decided to do that in apprenticeships. So I've not been on Broadway yet. Will one day. But I was like, well, I was just grateful that I even got that far. Other ones I've gotten even farther. Some of them I actually am still waiting to hear back from. But while I'm waiting to hear back, I'm still applying for many other things, which I will tell you about later. Some of them are still waiting to hear back from. Most of them, here's a reason why you wait so long to hear back from apprenticeships, is some of them have to cast their full season of like all of their shows before they cast their apprentice, which I think is a little weird. But the reason why they do that is because they want to know what possible understudies they will need, and that also impacts who they choose for their apprenticeships. They'll want to know like if maybe they have any open roles, and that also impacts like who they choose for their apprenticeships. So there's a lot of different scenarios. They also want to know how much money they have, and And basically they're trying to get like all of their like working business like scheduling and contracts with their actors and their stage managers and their set designers and everything before they get to their apprentice. So you have to wait quite a while. Some of them will try and get back to you like early summers when they say, but oftentimes it's not until like end of August. I've talked to them, contact them. They're like, we're still not ready. Sometimes it takes longer for them to choose or find the people who they want for their season of shows. Some shows are just easier to cast, others are harder. So that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, so for an apprenticeship, to try and like audition for apprenticeship, you will send in your application. Normally you'll have to do a self-tape. It's different for everyone. Sometimes they want to see 3 monologues, sometimes they want to see 2 contrasting monologues, sometimes they want to see hear you sing, sometimes they don't care if you sing. Like, so as soon as you look into like different apprenticeships for different theater companies, then you'll kind of get a better idea of what you'll need to do to prepare. You will have to do a self-tape. Some of them only do self-tapes, like they only watch your self-tapes. Others of them will do self-tapes and they'll also want to do in-person auditions as well. Some of them will just watch your self-tapes over and over again, and then they'll do like interviews, maybe in person, maybe over the phone, it depends. But a good thing, and the reason why a lot of people want to do apprenticeships, is because you'll get classes with those theater companies. You'll get special time with different casting directors, casting agents, different directors you'll get to meet. You also get to understudy within those like season of shows. Sometimes you'll even get cast in a show, which is really cool. Some people leave and they get their equity cards. They have enough points so that they can be equity now, which is great. But it is also a year-long commitment. So that's something to keep in mind. Most of them are a year-long commitment, 8 months, maybe at the least. So that's something to keep in mind, because oftentimes during that time you can't really do much outside work. You're really too busy. From Milwaukee, which I got to the interview stage, the last stage, and I'm still waiting to hear back from. They do, like, their days are 20-hour days, 6 days a week. So you don't have time to really do anything else. They pay you depending on the place. Sometimes it's $150 a week, sometimes it's $90 a week. They all pay for your room and board, so you have a place to live. Normally, like, everyone has like their rooms, and then you'll share like a common room, like a common space, like your kitchen and everything, but you'll have like individual rooms. That's cool. Sometimes they double you up, and it's just kind of like a dorm, like being in college again. And then you'll also do showcases at the end for casting agents, for industry agents that maybe you can get signed to their agency, or maybe a casting agent will see you and invite you to an audition. That's the hope, like, at the end. And each of them have their own like little shows that they may do that are just for the apprenticeships actors. So that's cool. That's another cool thing. And really, you're just building a lot of relationships. So an apprenticeship is something that I think I'm sorry guys, an apprenticeship is something that I think it's great for actors just leaving college, because you still have that kind of vibe, but you also get to learn more about working professionals. Like, you get to meet more working professionals and really get your name out there, and then also have something on your resume outside of anything that you did with school. You can have like a real professional equity company right there and said, I did this role and I did this. And it's also a great place to, the showcase is great for showing off your talent and meeting different agents and agencies. So I think it's a real good thing, and I think that if you're interested, absolutely try and do it. It is competitive. It is extremely competitive. So keep that in mind. And if you get far, be happy with that, because you can always audition again, and they'll know you because they've watched your work so many times, and then they see that you really want it because you came back, you know. So I think that's pretty cool. And I know a lot of actors who have actually done apprenticeships. Some of them graduated with their bachelor's and maybe they waited a year before they did apprenticeships. Or they just went and did a straight on did an apprenticeships. And there's different types of apprenticeships. They have stage management apprenticeships, they have directing apprenticeships. So it's something for everyone. But what do you do in that year when you're not doing an apprenticeship, or when you're not, or have you decided not to do a master's or something? What do you do? I will tell you guys that in the next vlog, because I don't want this one to be too long. So I'll see you guys next time, and I will answer that question. So thank you guys so much. Stay tuned for part 2. It'll come up like really maybe a day after this one, because I don't want you guys to wait too long for me to do this. I'm about to go film it right now after I finish my tea. So thank you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch part 2. Bye.